Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football, where we're actually going to watch football. It seems like it's the longest week in the world, but I feel like I'm living in an alternative reality. I just said to my daughter then, to be fair, if Manchester City win the league, they deserve to. They're the best team. I never thought I'd be so humble towards Man City. If you had said this to me on Saturday night, I'd have said, what's happened to me? But respect is earned, and my respect for Pep Guardiola and Manchester City and has gone through the roof recently, because basically they, football is for the fans, and we've been united by the last few days. I'd love Villa to win today. There's an 8-point gap between Manchester United and Man City. I'd love Villa to win and make it an interesting end of the transfer window and end of the season. But look, Man City were played a key role in the collapse of the Super League. I know Liverpool left, I know Arsenal left, I know Manchester United left, I know Spurs left. They never would have left if Chelsea and Man City hadn't left. So Man City and Chelsea for me are the two. I'm sure the true story will come out at some point. We almost need that true story to come out. But I think Man City really saw that, and Chelsea, that the money wasn't something that they actually needed, and the hassle was not something that they needed. So lots of people asking me about Grand Theft Auto. Look, I'm as gutted as you. It feels so long since I've played Grand Theft Auto, and the links in the video description if you want to give me a follow. I'll be honest with you, it's not back tonight. It'll be back tomorrow night. I'm still very, very tired, and I don't really fancy staying up until 1 o'clock tonight when I've been up until gone that for the last 4 nights. So I need to get some rest. I need to get some R&R, rest and relaxation, which is why I'm watching the match tonight, and I'm more than happy to do that for a couple hours and have a chat tonight watching this match, and then we'll get back to some normality tomorrow with Grand Theft Auto. So but we're watching a match for the first time. We've done 2 watch-alongs, haven't we, for the last 2 nights. I've not really watched any football, and we've got it back tonight. So I'm very, very happy with that. But no, what I was going to say, somebody asked me about the Spurs protest. Look, I'll be back tomorrow with it full and up and ready. Somebody asked me about the Spurs protest. I suppose this is the problem, isn't it? I mean, there's absolutely no reason why Spurs shouldn't be able to produce a better protest than that. What I saw, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, there wasn't that many people there, a couple of hundred maybe. And this is, well, I don't know. Look, I said this morning on this channel. Thank you everybody who came together. I wouldn't want Mohammed bin Salman to replace the Glazers, to be honest, Pedro. Personally, I wouldn't. But if you do a protest and it goes like that, it's an embarrassment, and you sort of do damage to anything you're trying to do. But I don't know whether Spurs fans actually want to get rid of Levy, and if they do, that was a piss poor organisation or thing. You know, I said this today on the United Stand. We're all eager to make change, but you can damage change by rushing to do it too quickly. And if somebody says, get down to Spurs today at 4 o'clock before the game, let's show those owners, and 200 of you turn up and you start playing on a guitar, it's like, that ain't no protest, bro. This is a shitty concert. This is a Poundland fake Oasis concert. It's rubbish. You've embarrassed your club doing that. You've shown that you're weak. You've shown that you're disorganised. How can you remove an organised entity with a weak, disorganised protest? You know, if you're going to do it properly. But look, you cannot stop people from doing what they want to do. That's democracy. That's freedom. If people want to turn up at Spurs or United or Arsenal, and Arsenal are doing one tomorrow, and I would hope that will go a little bit better, and I think it will, because they've been planning it longer. But I don't know. It's not my club. I don't want to say it's not my problem. I hope for Arsenal football fans, because they'll be feeling exactly the same as Man United fans and Liverpool fans and every other fan who's pissed off. I hope that Arsenal can make change at their football club, and I'm sure they feel the same about ours. But organisation and working together is the way to do it. You know, I saw that Robbie was on Talk Sport today, and he said something along the lines that he would rather he'd rather get rid of Kroenke than have 3 of the best players in the world signed this summer. And, in the replies, he's not a real Arsenal fan, he doesn't speak for us. Well, straight away, you're ruining your argument there, because if you're not going to get behind people... Look, there are Man United fans that I don't particularly like because they've been quite vile to me, but I'd rather they were in charge of Manchester United than the Glazers, because I know they're Man United fans and I know they've got the best interests of Manchester United. That, to me, that's all that important. It's not about your personal feelings about anybody. It's about having a united goal. If you start fighting amongst each other, you're not organised again, are you? So no Grealish starting tonight, which is a little bit disappointing. But I will go through the team news because that is what we're here for. We're here for a watch along. So let's go. Hopefully he can get back fit, Grealish, because he's actually having a chat with Gareth Southgate. Southgate's probably... You can tell by Southgate he's not interested. He's got that body language. He's like, don't talk to me. I'm only doing it for the cameras. Jack, you're not coming to the Euros. What was that? He said nothing. I did tell him though. Okay, let's go. There can be miracles when you believe. Just do your best and try to succeed. I don't know whether that's the words, but come on, Villa. Let's do it. I mean, Villa were sort of robbed against Man City before, weren't they? Remember that back at that dodgy goal? But we know Grealish on this side. I think it's going to be very, very difficult for them tonight. I'm going to go for... What am I going to go for? I think City will win this one 2-0. 2-0 to Manchester City. The timer's up and running anyway. Pratim says, we are back, Mark. I'm happy, so proud of you. God bless. Keep up the good work. I don't know what I'm bad about. Oh! Villa have scored! Villa have scored! Villa have scored! UTV! UTV! It's McGinn! And the dream begins! It's McGinn! 1-0! Oh my God! What's gone on here? We didn't even see it. It's a goal for McGinn. Up we go. Let's have a look at this. The ball goes over the top. Ollie Watkins passes it into McGinn. And who passes it in? It's in from McGinn. 1-0 Villa. I mean, it's a really straightforward goal. The keeper's probably should do a little bit better here. But what a start. And it just, I mean, you know what? If you're ever going to do a watch along and the underdog scores in the first 5 minutes, it makes it all worthwhile because they're winning and therefore, you know, you're going to get a good game. So it's 1-0 to Aston Villa in no time. Football's back. Football's back. And I tell you what, fair play to Villa because we've had a horrible few days and I'm sure Manchester City will still win this game, but we all just need a bit of bloody football, don't we? We all actually need, you know what I think? We all actually need that thing that everyone's trying to make money out of. You know, all these billionaire owners trying to ruin our game and make money out of it. This is the product. This is the thing they're trying to destroy and make money out of. All we want as fans is to enjoy it. Legacy fans sounds like a stupid American terminology. I reside in the States and fully know how they coin these words, says Alexander Gomez. Not sure if it's just me that's fixated on this, but I'm determined to find whichever executive it was that used the term legacy fans and get that idiot kicked out of football, says Matt Lloyd Davis. Leighton, welcome to the members club. So it's 1-0 to Villa here. McGinn scores at the beginning. 21 in 21. Look, I think Manchester United, if Villa were to win this and United won their game in hand, they'd be 5 points behind Man City. I mean, I think it's impossible. And well, it's not impossible. I don't think it will happen by a very long way. I think there's a very, very slim chance. I think Man City are 95% sure of winning this title. And they deserve to win it. They have been the best team over the season. So look, Man City are the best team in the league and they do deserve to win it. But it doesn't mean that it can't happen. And it doesn't mean that we can't hope it's going to happen. So look, hopefully. I don't know. I've never even looked at what Man City's games are that they've got left. And I'm not going to at this stage. But it's a big if. One thing I loved about the last couple of days is the unity. Imagine if the world came together like this for more matters, says Konzi. I literally feel any club Jose goes to rather than the Prem, he would just make them worse. He should just retire, says Marketing James. I think he's been linked with the Celtic job, hasn't he? But what happened with Spurs? Did they win today or did they lose? I don't know what Spurs did. I've been too busy. Oh, they won 2-1, Spurs. Okay. So Bale and Son with a 90-minute penalty. And the funny thing is, yet again, Spurs are back in with a chance of top four. It's a crazy league. I mean, they won't get top four, I don't think, because they're They are 2 points off 4th place, but they've played a game more than Liverpool, West Ham and Chelsea. But look, you never know. You never know with that one. You never know. They won 2-1. Thanks, everyone. Glazers out. I don't know what the Manchester United Supporters Trust and the Red Army are planning, but I know they've got things in place, and I know that they're not going to just not do nothing. So, you know, patience is a virtue. Are you going to protest on Saturday? Says Oliver Smith. And welcome to the Members Club, Evan Scannell. No Bam Bam for Pebbles tonight, says Sean Finity. And yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to spend the whole show talking about the protest. I've said exactly what I need to say about the protest on the United stand. Personally, I don't agree with it because I think that it's not organised, and I worry about what's happened at Spurs and how embarrassing that was. I also worry about the fact that, you know, a legal protest is an organised protest, and it's not organised and it's not legal. But if people want to do it, the United stand will be covering it. So look, it's on everybody else what they want to do. I'm personally involved in quite a few things at the moment and quite a few conversations. So look, I think we've just got to respect what everyone wants to do and stay united on it. And look, hopefully everything everyone's going to do collectively will break those barriers down. But I do think we need to, you know, be a little bit more organised in what we're trying to do, and don't just rush to silly decisions like those Spurs fans did today. You know, someone got a bloody guitar out. It's like David Brent. There's no one here. Go and get the guitar. Go and get the guitar. And it's like, you know, we've got to do it properly. Is it crazy I think of you all the time, baby? Says Cuba. Is it really, love? Can you give me a sign? Because I'm losing my head trying to make your mind. I don't know what song that is, Kubi. I don't know. Your granddad would be proud of you for the passion you have for United, says iMac. Thank you very much. But I'm not going to read your second name because I'm not thick. Title charge United, says Alfie. Well, let's wait and see what happens. I'm just looking at the goal again here. Pebbles slips and Diaz can't do anything about it. John Terry's proper excited. Here's Matty Cash coming forward now. Remember, Man City recently have been in a bit of problems. They lost to Leeds. They lost to Chelsea. You know, I know they beat Dortmund, but I don't think Dortmund are that good. Pebbles. That's what we call him, innit, Pebbles? He's good centre-back, Pebbles. I'm not, you know, but he has got the Pebbles nickname. I don't care. He's keeping that. If the Glazers and other owners stay, do you think they'll try this again, Matt? I think they will. And that's why legislation and change needs to happen. If you can't trust anybody, you know, there's plenty of analogies I could use. But look, if you're out with your mates, right, and you bought yourself, hold on a minute, Watkins. If you're out with your mates, right, and you go and buy a Big Mac and chips, and you go and find a table with your mates, and you're going, oh, before I eat this, I really need to go for a piss, and you come back and your Big Mac's been eaten. Next time, are you going to leave your Big Mac with him? You're going to hold it in, or you're going to take it with you, aren't you? So you can't trust them. You cannot trust them. And that's the same for Liverpool. That's the same for Arsenal. I don't really know the situation with Chelsea and Man City. I think Chelsea and Man City fans are not the same as Man United, Arsenal and Liverpool fans. I don't really understand what Spurs... I mean, if we've got fans of other clubs, let us know how you're feeling today, because there will be fans of clubs that are nothing to do with this. You know, might have Everton fans or other fans, so let us know how you're feeling about it. But all I can speak of is as a Man United fan. Would you take Konza at Man United, says Vassaro? No, I want something better than that. He's a good player, but I want a better player than that. And yeah, look, in relation to Dortmund against Man City, let's not forget there was a couple of decisions across those two legs that were very different. What video on the Mark Goldbridge channel this week, says Tom? You know what? I'm really running out of time to do what I wanted to do on the on the Mark Goldbridge channel. So I might open it up to you 11,000 for ideas. I've got a pen, I've got a paper. I might do a Goldbridge Reacts. What would you like me to react to? There you go. I could do a Goldbridge Reacts, and you can decide what I'm going to react to. So, you know, come up with something that's going to be good, though. I'm not going to react to something that's going to be shit. Like, what's a good... You probably watch them more than me. I've seen people doing a try not to laugh challenge. I mean, I don't know. Let me know what you think. But we'll do something. I think from tomorrow we need to get back to some normality. I might even do. I laugh. I don't know what to do about that FIFA career mode. I was really enjoying it. United new shirt sponsor view is misused by scammers to rip people off. So ironic, Marks. It's John Donnelly. Oh, right. I see what you mean. Team view. Yeah, okay. I know what you mean now. React to rugby's biggest hits. It's... Sorry, I need to read some of this. Man City on the attack here. Foden with the cross, and that's a corner. React to scary videos, says Ardish. Take a break this week, Mark. It's well deserved. Yeah, but taking a break for me will probably be doing something like that. I'm so looking forward to playing Grand Theft Auto tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to playing a bit of FIFA. I mean, I've not, these are things that I do that I enjoy, and I've not been able to do them for like 5 days. So, I'm looking that those things for me are relaxing. So I'm looking forward to getting back to those. So, and I wouldn't mind doing a video for Mark Goldbridge, because as long as it's not talking about the bloody Super League or my owners, that would be great. I don't like Woodward's time at United, but I think he tried to make it work a few times for EG with Ollie with the Super League. He regretted backing it, calling it one of his worst mistakes. Well, if you want to feel sorry for him, Rowan, that's up to you. I don't. Do Mark Goldbridge clips on TikTok. It's some of your classic clips from matches in FIFA. It might be some good nostalgia. This is Marco Warren. I did one of them last week, though. The Glazers already have so much money since they own the Buccaneers. Why do they have to go and do something so slimy for more? Greed feeds greed, doesn't it? Finn, you should react to our music suggestions. And I've only started watching since lockdown. Will you do match day vlogs? Says Callum Dalby. React to Jake Paul. But I can't get the footage to react to it. Remember, this has got to be on YouTube, and you can get copyrighted. So I'm not going to do something that's going to get me copyrighted. I can't do another cooking with Goldbridge. That takes a little bit of planning that I won't have time to do it. So, Bernardo Silva looking for a penalty. Come on, you're dodgy. React to a Sidemen Sunday. Would they copyright strike me? Zerka reacted to me, so, I might be alright. Got to keep protesting outside the grounds, boycott going to games and stop buying merchandise, hit these owners hard. I agree on those things, Connor. Lille fan, considering Lille versus Lyon on Sunday, it's after the United game, may not sound great, but looking at the League One table, it will be crucial, says Russell. Yeah, but it's the Carabao Cup. It's Carabao Cup final on Sunday, isn't it? So I was looking at that today. I'll do the Carabao Cup final on this channel as a watch along, but I will literally go from Liverpool, Man United, Leeds straight into that. So, yeah. Thanks for the ideas. Got quite a few here. I could react to one of my videos. Yeah. Ryan Mason played progressive today and won. Feels so refreshing after a year of Mourinho. Also, will you be doing a Carabao final watch-along? I think I've answered that, Dylan. Thank you. Mark, there is a Glazers out protest on Saturday endorsed by United People's TV. Thought let's legit to go. Says Arvind. I don't like that. I don't like that. I've just replied to something about this on Twitter. I don't want this protest on Saturday to be endorsed by such and such fan channel or such and such website. It doesn't need. That's where people start to get irritated. You can't have protests endorsed by United Stand or endorsed by United whatever they're called. You can't do that because it just gets people's back up. It's meant to be bloody United. It's a United fan protest. It can't be endorsed by people, and that's why if it's organised properly, it doesn't need an endorsement because it's done and everybody knows about it. So I think we've got to be very, very careful about endorsed by, because it will just get people's back up. Make a Reddit page and react to content your followers put there once a week, says Jed Mind Gaming. I didn't know that sort of thing happened. Man City have got a corner here with Foden. Cross comes in. Here's a good point. I think Man City have still got this. Danny, it must be so easy to have the team talk, says Danny, for Villa. Let's beat these greedy money-grabbing franchise who tried to kill our sport this week. You know what? I don't think that'll be enough. I think Man City will still win this one. And I did say 2-0, so it's not going to be that. But I do think you're right. I do think Liverpool and Chelsea will be quite pissed off, because I know, and as you know, that football and professional sport is fine margins. If you're even 2% off, it can have a massive impact. Liverpool were clearly not in the right mindset to play on Monday, and against Leeds, they dropped 2 points. Chelsea last night, clearly not in the right mindset, and they end up dropping 2 points. So if I was Liverpool and Chelsea, you could almost say they've had a bit of a punishment already, because I don't think both of them are going to end up in the Champions League as it stands. I think that one of them might miss out, and those 2 points they've dropped over the last 2 days could be huge. How many seconds did Villa score someone? I think it was must have been about 10, between 10 and 20 seconds it scored. Hi Mark, if Man City lose most of their games and we win most of our games, do you think we have a chance of winning the league? Well, it will happen, Josh. If they lose most of their games and we win most of ours, then yes, it will happen. React to the Champions. It's hilarious, quick football cartoon. Hilarious, you'll enjoy it. It's about a Champions League house filmed like a sitcom, says Matt Tosland. Don't give me stuff I'm going to get copyright striked on, though. It's 21 seconds, apparently. Yeah, I agree with Marvin. It's definitely impacted their opinion, because if you think about it, if we have been stressed, if you'd have asked me to play FIFA on Tuesday or Monday, I didn't do it because I didn't want to do it. So if I'm like that, and I know it's totally different, but if I'm like that, and I bet if any of you were at work on Monday or Tuesday, you couldn't focus on it because of what was going on. These people are doing the thing that's being impacted, so it's going to have a big impact on them. And I don't think I've really... I mean, to be fair, so many people have had so many different things to talk about that talking about that is probably way down on their priorities. But the reality is, I do think that Chelsea and Liverpool players were impacted by this severely, and they've dropped points because of it. I'm very glad that Man United didn't have a big game this week, because we've sort of dodged that bullet. React to how the universe is way bigger than you think. 10-minute video on YouTube, says Mon Klasunki. Okay. And play your FIFA career. Your Super League was fun, says Sumia. Yeah, I don't know what people think about that. What do you think about the Super League thing? I mean, I just think I'll get haters for doing it. But I started it before the Super League. And my Super League, I was actually enjoying my Super League. But I don't know. You can't have a go at somebody for continuing a bloody computer game Super League that's got nothing to do with reality. I think I should be allowed to continue. People think it was you who started it. I can confirm I had nothing to do with the conversations. All right, you've caught me out. What happened is I did my FIFA career mode on the Friday at the Super League. And then on Friday night, I went and had a secret meeting at the local McDonald's with Ed Woodward, Stan Kroenke and John Henry and all the other lot. And they were like, we really like your idea. We're thinking about copying it. And I said, well, have a look at it then. And then they still didn't get it right. Yeah, Victor's right. It's like condemning someone for killing a pedestrian on Grand Theft Auto. Yep. There'll be protests against me next week if I bring it back. I might bring it back on Friday for the laugh now. If United win the league and then get deducted points, that'll be Woodward's most Woodward. Goodbye, says Harry Wormsley. And nobody is mentioning lawsuits. United could owe billions, not the owners, says Megan's dad. But we'll have to wait and see, yeah. Woodward now needs the Goldbridge. He's broke with the other Premier League clubs more than you do, says Abhishek. And boycott the Champions League format, says Timolo. Well, remember my Super League, I was still playing in the Cups and the Champions League as well. So I did it the right way. There can be miracles when you believe. Come on, Villa. 20 minutes gone. The great thing about these sort of things, though, is when the underdog scores early, they're motivated more. They're like, oh my God, we could get a great win. So, Kyle Walker with the shot. Matty Cash puts it out for a corner. He should have got a shout there. He could have let it go for a goal kick. React to 442 Tunes videos. I'll write it down. To be honest, what I want to react to is something that's just going to, be interesting. I'm so intrigued about the next transfer window now, says my Pink E. And how is Man City doing so bad? Well, you know what? Maybe they are. Maybe they're affected a little bit by it as well. Decent shot there, though, from I think it was, I don't know who had the shot there. Was it Kyle Walker again? The Super League was like one of those bad sister and brother videos where they say only the tip, and it went horribly wrong. Andy, so what? Yeah, I'm all for analogies, but I don't like yours. They're sus. They are. React to people reacting to Mark Goldbridge. Do people react to Mark Goldbridge? Didn't know they did do that. I can't believe how these greedy people try and say sorry for ruining our club and form. What has been happening these last 3 days. I've been depressed and they don't care about our mental health, says Josh. Josh, I hope you're feeling good, by the way, because that's really, really important. I'm somebody that when I don't get a lot of sleep, it impacts my mood. Drink impacts my mood as well. And when I say mood, my sort of mental health, if I have too many drinks on a night out, the next day it makes me feel depressed. And alcohol, isn't it? It's a drug, isn't it? I don't know whether it's a drug, but... And also tiredness impacts my mood as well. So, you know what else impacts your mood? Some rich, greedy bastard trying to destroy your football club. So, look, a well-constructed letter that somebody's done for Joel Glazer doesn't apologise for what they've done over the last few weeks. And I feel sorry for people who work at these clubs like Manchester United and Liverpool and Arsenal, because there's some fantastic people who work at those clubs who do fantastic work for the community and charities. And what they would have wanted to be doing on Monday and Tuesday is putting out messages of support and saying, if you're feeling down, I'm sure somebody... Hold on, Man City, that's a goal. It's a lovely goal as well. What a goal. Foden scores. They've carved them open. The cutback for Foden. And to be fair, it's a cracking goal. I don't think there'll be offside in this. Zinchenko with the overlap. Foden actually plays the pass out wide. Little ball into Bernardo Silva. Cut back. Oh, it's a delightful goal. It's a delightful goal by Manchester City, to be fair. I mean, Mahrez plays it to Bernardo Silva. The cut back, and there's Foden to pass it in. It's Tekka's football from Manchester City, to be honest. And there's not a lot Villa can do about it. Oh, and City just scored, says Fernando Martinez. It's a good goal. It's a typical Manchester City goal. Appreciate it. To be honest, I find it hard to hate on City, to be honest, after the last couple of days. I thought Pep Guardiola's comments in the press conference yesterday were fantastic and sort of started the momentum. Obviously, Man City and Chelsea were the two clubs that came out and started the momentum. So it's very hard for me to sit here and say, I fucking hate Man City. They're evil. They're ruining football. Because, to be honest, that's my club. Sorry. Manchester United, I can never say any other club is ruining football anymore, because my club architected the biggest event of ruining football ever. So, but yeah, 1-1 in this game. Good goal. Can't remember what I was saying before now. Maybe this time we can use the Glazers, let them buy big players this transfer to please us, and still kick them out once we get the opportunity, says Sumya. For FIFA, put United into administration and place them into League 2 and release all of your top players and start with only youngsters. Superior. I tell you, that's a good idea. As a Villa fan, I believe Konza is our best centre-back and should genuinely be in the England squad. I'm biased, but he's so good this season, says Alex Byrne. You know what? I actually do like that FIFA idea, but it might be a little bit too extreme for people to actually watch it. Where you kick Man United down to League Two, you move all their players off, and you have to play with the youth players and Phil Jones and start from there. Their transfer budget would still be huge, though, wouldn't it? You can't adjust transfer budget. But would players want to come and play in leagues? I think it'd be very good. It'd be a very good idea. Mark, 2 points on your FIFA career. Would you agree your 2 seasons with Newcastle was a complete failure? No. And also, if new Super League, would you play as a foreign team? Says Andrew C. Also, if no Super League, would you play as a foreign team? Okay. I don't think my Newcastle career mode was a failure. I got to an FA Cup final. I thought I was severely cheated. Foden's on fire here at the moment. He's just hit a shot over the bar after a bit of skill. He's on fire at the moment. Mark, you should watch Ownage pranks on YouTube at half time. So funny, it will be a laugh. Check it out, says Michael Southcombe. If Connor's getting United, I'm getting City. Mad for it, our kids, says Liam Gallagher. Imagine if it was the real Liam Gallagher. Hi Mark, I've missed you playing Grand Theft Auto. Can you play it today? No, Eddie, I can't. Health and well-being comes first. I'm absolutely exhausted. I'm just going to chill out, watch Aston Villa versus Man City, go to bed, watch a bit of TV and try and get to sleep by 11 o'clock so that tomorrow I'm fresh and new, and then tomorrow night I can play some GTA. But yeah, because I'll be up till 1 o'clock and I've got to catch up on my sleep. I'm not reacting to GAA. Why are you asking me to react to that? Why are people obsessed with it? I've never watched it. I'm never going to watch it. And I'm not going to react to it. I know what it is. I didn't really care for it when I lived in Ireland. I respect people who do care for it. But I'm not reacting to something that I've got absolutely no interest in. So, not going to do it. People are obsessed about it. They keep asking me to do a watch-along for it as well. Like, I don't want to. I've seen it before. I don't want to watch it again. It's like Australian football. It's like bloody baseball. No, not going to watch it. React to Lego Man. I've already done that. I don't think there's a better video man than that on that one. Foden should definitely win Young Player of the Season. I also wouldn't be shocked if he completely bossed the Euros. He's absolutely class, says Jacob G. And he wants another penalty here. Bernardo Silva. He does dive a lot, Bernardo Silva, doesn't he? The Super League is like a lad's night out before everyone asks their missus if it's all right, says Lee Borlington. And hi, Mark. I took a vacation and decided to disconnect for the past 3 days and just came back to the internet. Did I miss anything, says Sebastian? No, nothing. Nobody tell him. Nobody tell him. Don't upset him. You a darts fan, Mark? Well, I tried to play a bit of darts and I do quite like it, but I don't like anything. I don't really get much chance to watch it because, as we know, football massively takes over your life. Mark, the United Stand has brought a lot of United supporters around the world together. Do you think platforms like yours can come together and show the Glazers what United are all about? Look, Manchester United Football Club know who the United Stand are. We're probably on the list. But, you know, it's down to... In their own apology today, they're talking about linking in with fans, and yet they despise what the United Stand is. Arsenal Football Club can't stand AFTV either. This elitist nonsense to totally ignore a massive proportion of your fan base is elitist. You know, say what you like about fan channels, but a lot of people watch them and a lot of people have opinions that are far better than these owners. React to unsolved mysteries. It's not 2-1 to City, it's 1-1. I thought that was a foul. I did think it was a foul. Please subscribe, by the way, if you are watching. Bottom right hand corner to do it. Been amazing content and conversation over the last 3 days. I can't thank everybody enough for it. Obviously, I did the thank you video this morning because I think you've just been fantastic as a collective. Every fan who's got involved in this has, and I've really enjoyed and needed the conversations that we've had over the last few days, because it could have been a very lonely thing. I imagine if this had, I said this to somebody this morning, imagine if this had happened, 30 years ago when we didn't have YouTube, or 20 years ago when we didn't have YouTube and we didn't have WhatsApp groups and things like that. We'd have just been reliant on, websites and stuff like that and forums, and it would have been totally different. And I think, people, going back to that point there, some people have a problem with football Twitter and YouTube channels and things like that. But oh my God, like, if we didn't have this 20 years ago, would the voice have got out there as much? I think social media had a huge part to play in the destruction of the Super League, and nobody will want to admit that. Foden nearly in again. Nobody will want to admit that. But imagine if this had happened without social media. The fans would not have been able to get their voice across in the way that they did. I hate to say it, but damn, City play beautifully, says M&K Grip. Well, I've already said it, that Manchester City are the worthy winners of the Premier League title. I think it gets to a point where you have to say, I think I want Manchester United to win the league, of course I do. But do I think we've been the best team this season? No, of course we haven't. We've played some shocking football. We've grinded out some very good results, but we've played some shocking football. When a team wins a title, it tends to be the team that deserves to win it because they're the best team. I can't think of a season, unless you can. Can you think of a season where somebody won the league but they weren't the best team, footballing-wise? And Man City, head and shoulders, have been the best footballing side. They do deserve to win the league. As a Portsmouth fan, just wondering what other clubs' views are on the Prem days. We have new owners now, former head of Disney, so maybe one day, says James. I do remember Portsmouth, Darren Anderton. Guy Whittingham. What do you think of redistributive fines for the Big Six, e.g. fine 150 to 20 million collectively and then distribute to the rest of the Football League? Says Don Wesley. And I think Villa can upset City and snatch a 2-2 draw, says Sumya. Okay. Athletic reported that the Premier League has asked Buck, Vinay, Serena and Werner to step down. Thoughts? Shouldn't this be considered as something positive for fans who are from a different country? Cheers to every football fan. Says Simil. React to Tushar's Titanic music. Just drop him a text on Insta and no copyright. Also, will you visit Calcutta if you come to India? Says Anish. Liam, you couldn't run a bath, bro, says Noel Gallagher. And watch Jubilee videos on YouTube. Won't get copyrighted. It has a lot of content you would enjoy, mate, says Ibrahim. Cross comes in. Well held by Martinez. Mark, do you think that every owner of the Super League club should resign? Personally, as a Liverpool fan, I believe FSG should get the fuck out, says Gaming's DK. I think that I can't speak, as I said this morning. I wish I could, but I can't speak for Liverpool. I can't speak for Arsenal because they're not my clubs. But I know what they've done because my club did it. And if I was a Liverpool fan and I was an Arsenal fan, I would want them out. I'd be adamantly wanting them out of the club. And I wouldn't, it's a very odd thing that, effectively, as United fans, we are on the same page as Liverpool and Arsenal fans, that we want our owners out. And I think for Liverpool, it's a harder thing because these owners, 2 years ago, they won the Champions League. Last year, they won the Premier League. Like, Klopp will be devastated because, to be fair, those owners have done a lot of good. They've just absolutely done the thing that you can't do if you're to a Liverpool or a Manchester United. You can't shit on the club's history and the fans. They'll never win that trust back. Thoughts on Llewellyn coming through the ranks at United? Think you missed the last super chat, but it's fine. All the best, says Niall Corcoran. Thanks, Pat. I don't know much about him, to be honest. React to an episode of 24 Hours in Police Custody and fill in the gaps of what might not be shown on TV, says Andy McManus. Are they on? I can only react to what's on YouTube, can't I? Because I can't just. I'd love. I tell you what, I'd love to react to. I was saying this the other day. I would it would be, if you like my content. You know what would bang, absolutely bang. Me reacting to Line of Duty, because my wife would tell you this. Me watching Line of Duty is full of, that wouldn't happen in real life. Oh, whatever. She's not even put a log on. She wouldn't go on her own. Never, she wouldn't go on her own. That would never happen. She wouldn't take her phone off him. No, bollocks. No, I'm not having this. So this would be brilliant. I just can't do it because there's no way Line of Duty is going to let me do it. But it would be absolutely brilliant. It would be. I'd love it. But it can't happen. It can't happen. And even if you've never seen Line of Duty before, I'd still make it good because I'd show the good bits. It'd basically be Goldbridge box of Line of Duty, but I can't do it. If the producer of if Jed Mercurio is watching, let me do it, Jed. Let me do it. It would be absolutely brilliant, but I can't. To answer your question, it's 2012. I think United were better, but City won it. Says some. Yeah, that's a good point, really. I think we were better than City that year, but obviously they won it. Do you think there's a possibility that the Glazers or other owners try to win back some favour from the fans by big signings this summer? The Glazers must now sell. Simon, I think that's exactly what people will do. I think that's what Liverpool are going to do. I think his video apologising. He's desperately not wanting to sell Liverpool and wants to get them back, but. I don't know. It's about whether you can be bought. The trust is gone. Can they buy your trust back? That's the question. I think if I'm reacting to anything, it's got to be something that's on YouTube. I can't react to anything that's on TV because I'll be in the shit. You should react to American football chants, says Telgan. There can be. So it's 35 minutes gone here, 1-1. It's actually been a good game, actually. I've quite enjoyed it. I have. Hi, Mark. Do you think regulation can force the Glazers to sell? You've kept me going through lockdown, says Mohammed Idris. I hope so, mate. Don't forget the history of how Champions League started and how Premier League separated from English FA. This is hypocrisy, says Tushar. It's not hypocrisy. It's not. It's not hypocrisy at all because the Premier League is basically Division 1 rebranded with more money. It's not. It's the same tournament with a different name and a different money structure. The Super League was a made-up tournament that was basically football's equivalent of the World Wrestling Federation in a tournament with no relegation in it and a crappy tournament structure. So it's not the same. There's a foul here for Manchester City right on the edge of the box. I'd like to react to X Factor stuff, but it's got to be on YouTube. It's very hard to do reaction videos because basically you've got to react to YouTubers. Because if you react to TV programmes, they're going to take you down. That didn't really look like a foul to me. That didn't look like a foul to me on Zinchenko. Let's have a look at this back. He doesn't touch him. That's not even a bloody foul. He hurts himself. This is a good chance. Appreciate your voice for online fans against the Europe Super League, says Shaquille. Who supports who in the live comments? Let me know. Liverpool, Spurs, Arsenal, Villa, Juventus, Levy out, Chelsea. Got a good range, quite a range. Thanks everyone for letting me know. Norwich, up we come. Anyway, let's see what happens with this free kick. Mahrez and Gundogan are on it. West Ham, few United fans as I would expect. Liverpool, Arsenal, Sunderland, my legs, good one. Colchester, Stare Bucharest, Ipswich. Don't tell the Norwich fan. Over the bar with the free kick, and it's a corner because it came off the wall from Mahrez. Mahrez. Lewis is a Forest fan. Boca Juniors, Coventry, Leicester. Cross comes in, headed away. Spurs interim manager is the same age as Son, says Govind. I remember him playing at Spurs. Solihull Moors, up the Moors, Walter White. Good play here by Foden. And he wins another corner. I tell you what, Foden's been on fire tonight. What a player. There can be miracles when you believe. Arsenal, but I have so much respect for any fan who stopped the Super League. And to you, Mark, now it's to get these owners out, says Joe. Yeah, look, I mean, we're going to go back to normal in relation to that. We've all got our battles to fight with our club owners, and I wish everybody the best of luck on that one. And as I said, I genuinely mean what I tweeted late last night, just before I went to bed. Cross comes in, goal! What terrible defending by Martinez there. He's come for the cross and Diaz makes it 2-1. No, Rodrigo. I always get them two mixed up. Cross at the front post. Keeper comes to punch it. Rodri gets there first. 2-1. That's a crappy goal. I think he's a good goalkeeper, Villa's goalkeeper, Martinez. But if you come for these, you look at Pratt if you don't get it. And Man City have been relentless here. The cross comes in. He's definitely onside. And the keeper's just caught himself in no man's land there. No man's land there. It's 2-1 to Manchester City. And I tell you what, I wish I'd predicted 3-1 instead of 2-0, because I did actually think 3-1. I just didn't think Villa would score. But that's a crappy goal to concede for Villa, especially with the sort of defenders they've got. Rodri just flicking it over. The keeper shouldn't come for that. And it's 2-1 to Man City. Mark, you praise the fans for the ESL Super League, but the real hero is Captain Bullcrap, Carl Colpinson, says Danny Riley. Would be ironic if Targay and Cash each got a goal against City. Would 3-1 first choice signings for United be an acceptable apology from the Glazers, says Tyler. Yeah, but going back to what I was saying before in relation to Joe's super chat, I genuinely do mean what I said last night. You know, the real competition now is who's going to get rid of their owners first, Liverpool, Man United or Arsenal. It's almost like an off-field competition, and best of luck to all three, because at this moment in time I think the fans of all three clubs, and maybe Spurs feel the same, I don't know. I don't think Chelsea and Man City fans feel like this, so I never include them, but they all want rid of their owners. Have you ever watched that Mitchell and Webb sketch where it says, "Are we the baddies?" That's how I feel being a United fan. Yes, Red Baron, and I saw it a few times yesterday. Hamza says, you're a United fan, but do you like City? No, I don't. I mean, look, in this new world at the moment, I don't have any problem with Man City. They are the best team in the league, and I don't see them as an enemy of football at the moment, because Manchester United are. You can't moan about City's morals and where they get their money from when our club just tried to screw football over. So that should be a red card there on Ramsey by... That's a red card. That's a red card by Pebbles. That's a red card. That's exactly what Cooper did. They should send him off. That's exactly what Cooper did. I tell you what, if he doesn't send Stones off, it has to be a red. It's got to give him a red. It's this. I mean, look, this is what I mean about swings and roundabouts. This is what I mean about swings and roundabouts, because I didn't think that the Leeds one was a red card. And Man City fans were, it's a leg breaker, it's a leg breaker. And then 2 weeks later, it comes around to you. Now, you're probably going to get away with it, but that's a red card. If it is, it has to be a red. I don't agree with it. I do not agree with it. But he's got to give a red. It has to be a red. If they're going to be consistent, he has to give a red. Oh, for fuck! He's giving him a yellow. No, he's giving him a red. He's giving him a red. He's got to go. He's down. Well, it makes the game interesting. I mean, look, I don't agree with it. I do not agree with it. But many people would say this is all we on this channel 2 weeks ago. Leeds got a red card. I went mad. I said football's in the mud. Football, it's over. Forget football. And I had Man City fans going, "Oh, shut up. Stop being so salty. Cry more." I knew this would happen. I knew it would happen. You cannot escape VAR. Pep's going mad about it, but I'm sorry, Pep. You look at Pratt. You look at Pratt because I have sympathy with Man City, but I don't because of how you reacted 2 weeks ago. It was not a red card for Cooper, and it's not a red card for Stones. But this is what I said about the game's gone. The game has gone. You are absolutely right. The game has gone because it shouldn't be a red. I don't think there is any intention from Stones. And again, I think if there's no contact on the player, it's never a red. We're sending people off now because if you catch them accidentally and it hurts them, you're going to get a red. I absolutely agree it's not a red. But look, I've got to sit here and say, I took a load of shit from Man City fans after the Leeds red card. And they were like, "Oh, shut up, it could have broke Jesus' leg." And I said, for me, the game's gone. That's never a red. And I'll back you on this one. So that's never a red. But I was told it was a red for Leeds. So if it's a red for Leeds, it's a red for Stones. I disagree with both. I definitely disagree with both. But the odd thing is, VAR will not protect anybody. And all those City fans who were laughing, going, "Oh, cry more, it was a red for Leeds," it's come round very quickly to bite you on the arse, hasn't it? So, football's... But I will agree, football is gone. You can't tackle anymore. I'd be very worried about making any tackles now because you can genuinely go for the ball. And if you catch a player and it hurts them, you're going to get sent off. So, there you go. Justice jam on toast, as people say. It's not justice. It's just... there's another word for it. It's like, don't celebrate something that goes in your favour because it won't be long before it comes back and bites you on the arse. As an outsider, do you think Villa can be a top 6 club again? We have another 100 million to spend this summer and the club is ambitious. I think Villa can, says Cam. Well, let's see what they can do here. As a City fan, didn't agree with the new one against Leeds. Don't agree with this one. Game's gone too soft, says Dylan. And that's a fair thing. And also, as I said 2 weeks ago, if I'm a Man United fan, then and my defender does that, it's never a red card. If I'm a Man United fan and it's my player down, it's a red card. You're going to have bias. But as somebody who's got, I don't want Man City to win, but I can still look at it pragmatically and say neither the Leeds one or the John Stones one, in my idea of football, is a red card. But if you give red card for one, you've got to give red card for the other. Personally, I don't want it to be a red card for either, because if Harry Maguire does that at the weekend, he's going to get sent off and I'm going to be going, the game's gone! The game's gone! But there is consistency there. It's just poor consistency. If we get City down to 6 players, we might have a chance, says Andy B. A lot of people saying it's a red, Mark, what you're talking about. It's your interpretation, and if you think it's a red, you understand the rules. But what I'm saying is, and I said this after the Leeds game, if John Stones doesn't hit the man, that's never a red card. And having played football, I think we can all agree that you can't start giving red cards because they accidentally make contact. It's a bit like the goal that Scott McTominay had disallowed because it catches Son in the face, in the eye. If he doesn't catch Son, that's never a foul. If he catches Son on the elbow, it's never a foul. If John Stones doesn't catch, was it Watkins, where he catches him, or Trezeguet was it, it's not a foul. But because he catches him, it's a red card. Cooper attempts to win the ball, catches Jesus on the knee. If he doesn't catch him on the knee, then it's not a red card. And there's definitely no intent by any of those players. So you're basically sending somebody off if they accidentally catch somebody. Well, that can be never premeditated. I just think in a game of football, sometimes you get hurt. And I think that's what we've lost. Sometimes in a competitive game, you get hurt in a genuine attempt to get the ball. And you shouldn't be sent off for that. But, as a Fun fact, United are the only club in the world to have been in the Champions League, Europa League and the Super League in the same season, says Surab. As a City fan, says Dylan, never thought the one for Leeds was red. Don't think that was. Yeah, we've read that one as well. Do you think the backlash from the Super League will lead to English clubs spending more to counteract the backlash, even though they have reduced funds, says Adas? I don't know. Mark, I'm glad the Super League is over. Bless, respect City for pulling out. Not going to lie, as a United fan, nothing makes me feel better than a City red card, says Cam Heyer. Well, yeah, I'm happy that they've got a red card as well because I do want Villa to win. But Daniel says, I hate that is now a red card. And I agree with that. I don't want to see red cards for those sort of things. But now that's what this is the game we play with now. You know, you never know. And how do you coach that as a manager? What do you say to your players? You're almost saying, don't try and tackle unless you're 100% sure you're going to get it. But then John Stones was probably 100% sure he was going to get it. If you're 100% sure you're going to win every tackle, somebody would win every tackle. So, half-time, I know Pep's going to be angry. It's called club bias because it's your club. But realistically, watch the Leeds one, Pep. Watch the John Stones one. There's very little difference, is there? But they're trying to make it a non-contact sport, Connor. You're absolutely right. How do you coach these players now? How do you coach players now? Because any tackle could do that. Any tackle could do that. And that's where my sympathy is with all these players that are getting sent off and all these clubs. Because how do you you know, if I'm playing football and I want to go through Gundogan and I want to break his leg, you do what Roy Keane did to Haaland. You absolutely do it, and you keep your eye on it and you go and do it. But in the case of the Leeds player a couple of weeks ago and the John Stones player today, they're trying to win the ball. They're not trying to injure the player. They're trying to win the ball. So you're sending people off for trying to win the ball. And they're not reckless. You know, you could try and win the ball with both feet off the ground and your studs showing. That's reckless. Okay, that's reckless. But I don't know. Why are people still saying City on for the treble? They're not, IMAC. They're not. Mark, mate, it's on his knee. Stop defending your awful arguments, says Sam. Well, it's not an awful argument because I don't think it was. But what you need to understand, Sam, is that it's on his knee. It's a terrible tackle. Do you think John Stones saw his knee and went, I'm going to hit his knee? He didn't. You need to understand what playing football is all about to understand where I'm coming from. And I know that sounds very arsey and arrogant, but like what I'm trying to say is that if that's your centre-back and he doesn't make a challenge, that Villa player's got the momentum and he's going through one-on-one. Everybody is going to say, why the fuck did John Stones not tackle him? He's just stood there and done nothing. But that's what the game's making them do. They're basically sending them into a trap. He's got to go for that ball. He tries to win that ball. And in trying to win that ball, he catches the player's leg accidentally. Is that now a red card? Yes, it is. Should it be a red card? No. If the players know that's a red card, what you're basically asking them to do is stand still and let them run past, which as a spectator is going to be impossible to get your head round. Imagine John Stones just goes, I better not do this in case I get a red card. Off you go. It's going to be weird to watch because it's been ingrained in us in all our life that the defender's going to try and win the ball there. And basically what you're saying now is don't try and win the ball because even if you do win the ball and you follow through and hit their knee, you might get a red card. So the game is gone for me in relation to those types of red cards. But look, they've got to be consistent. They gave it against Leeds. It had to be a red card, but I don't agree with the rule. Imagine Roy Keane playing in this era, says Kevin. Yeah. Somebody said that on this channel a couple of weeks ago. Would Roy Keane survive in this modern game? No. But it sets it up lovely for the second half. Man City winning 2-1 with 10 men against Aston Villa. I personally make it a very interesting second half, but can Villa break Man City down, even though they've got a man less? Be very interesting. Looking forward to the second half. Looking forward to the second half from a United point of view, because it'd be nice to see City drop points. But let's have a look, actually. From a league perspective at the moment, Manchester City are on 77. Manchester United are on 67. So Man City with the win at the moment. But of course, if they draw, they'd be on 75. Manchester United could close that gap to 6 points. If they lose, they'd close that gap to... No, I've got my maths wrong completely here. 6 points. Yeah, so Man United win their game in hand. They go to 69. If Man City draw, it would be 75 for them, 6 points. If they lose, it would be 5 points, wouldn't it? Have I got my maths right? Yeah. So effectively, Man United could be, if they won their game in hand, 6 or 5 points behind Man City if they don't win, with 5 games to go. Man City's run-in is this. Considering they have got Champions League games as well. They've got Palace away, Chelsea, Newcastle, Everton and Brighton. I mean, look, you'd still expect them not to drop enough points there, but you never know. You never know. If Chelsea beat them and Everton beat them, you never know. It could happen, but take a big effort from United. It really would, but makes it interesting, doesn't it? Makes it interesting. Mark, how can Agnelli, Perez, etc. expect to stay in their jobs? They literally stabbed everyone at the back and expect people to be fine with them again, says Chivs. But I don't, and you know what? You make a good point there, because I don't really know what the reception to this is with Juventus fans and Madrid fans. And I don't know that's because we've got 6 English clubs, so our media is obsessed with the English clubs as they're going to be. We've not heard about how Real Madrid fans felt about it. I always felt that, in fairness to Real Madrid and Barcelona, they've got massive financial issues. La Liga probably is a little bit boring for them. And the prospect of a Super League and load of money probably sounded all right. Because remember what they were trying to sell? They were basically saying we'll still play in La Liga, but in midweek we'll play in the Super League. So I sort of think that maybe some Real Madrid and Barcelona fans were before it. I don't know, though. I would hope not. Mark, do you agree that clubs should be apologising not just for trying to leave, but also for the emotional stress they've caused fans? Yes. Do VAR think that every defender is going to shy away from a tackle? It's a joke. Needs sorting out, says Ewan Black. Oh, I agree with you there. I agree with you there. Definitely, but they're going to talk. We're going to watch it back in a minute. I think the quality of defenders are reducing as the game is getting softer. Now defenders can't tackle like before. There is no intimidation factor, says Sumia. Well, also, you talk about diving in the box. You've now got a new scenario, haven't you, where a player can actually, if I'm a striker now and I get caught by a defender, I'm going to roll around because there's a very big chance you're going to get a red card, But, I'm obviously not as mad about it because if Man City drop points, it gives us a slim chance of the league. So it goes back to what I said a couple of weeks ago. When it happened, when Man City benefited from it, I thought it was a disgrace because it's like, oh, it's bloody Man City again. When we benefited from it because it happens to Man City, you're like, wow, you know what, it's one of those things. And it does look bad. I've got to say, it does look bad. The Leeds one did look bad. He's very late. He is very late trying to kick the ball and he catches him right on the knee and he could have broke his leg. He could have done. And it looks bad. But again, we're looking at it in slow motion again, aren't we? We're looking at it in slow motion and that's the problem. I say what I said about the Leeds one. How can you send somebody off for slow motion? Life doesn't happen in slow motion. It looks bad in slow motion. A goal in slow motion, a volley from outside the box is great. Watch it in slow motion. It looks way better. I hope you're screaming Morpé's won it at the end on the last day of the season. Brighton versus Man City. I thought they were playing Everton, Thomas. But it sets us up for a very good second half anyway, I would say that. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. Remember, everybody's welcome on here. The last few days have been unbelievable. But one of the positives has been on this channel, especially when we've been live, and we had 50,000 last night when Chelsea pulled out the league, and we had so many people of so many different clubs chatting away, and I think that's the brilliance of this channel. It's a community for everybody, and everybody had a say, and everybody gets involved. And what we've learnt over the last few days is that this sort of a platform is fantastic because we're all united in our love for football, and we've evidenced that over the last 3 days that there can be good conversations amongst fans of different clubs. And look, the rivalry needs to be there, the banter needs to be there, but as I've always said, we're rivals, not enemies, and that's the way it should be. So you're very welcome. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner, get involved with the channel. What do I think will happen in the second half? Interesting. Interesting. It was said that sorry, I've lost my way there a little bit. There was some news that I thought was important news that's not important news. Hi mate, Ryan. Thanks, Man United need to sign Mason Mount and Giroud. What do you think? Darwin out, says Giggsy, Man United. Well, we're not going to get any of those. I wouldn't want Giroud. It was stood showing knee high. He did not even get the ball. It was fast and forceful. It could have hurt him seriously. It's a clear red, says Viraj. And what was your all-time Football World 11B? I can't do that, Dejan. I can't do that anyway because it takes ages to do it and we're doing a watch-along. But the week I've just had, my brain's mushed. I can't do anything like that. I can't start thinking about World 11s at the moment. If people in the live comments want to start interacting and doing that, that's absolutely fine. We've moved on from the red card. I mean, look, maybe a week or two we'd be going on about this all the time, but there are bigger issues going on, and I'm not going to talk about the red card anymore. I've had my say. You've had your say. We don't really need to carry on about it. I hope it's going to be an interesting second half. It certainly sets it up differently. Man City actually came back from 1-0 deficit, says Prometheus TV. Unpopular opinion, says Ihab, that Mason Mount is better than Jack Grealish. Look, I've got a lot of respect for Mason Mount. I think he's been absolutely fantastic. From what I've seen of Chelsea this year, he's their best player. I think Foden's fantastic, and I think Grealish is fantastic. So, there's three fantastic players there. They're all English, and Southgate's got a big decision to make, hasn't he? Will he take all three? I don't think you can leave one out, but do you need three players like that? I said it on my predicted England squad that I don't think he'll take Grealish, but I think you can't not take any of them. You've got to take all three. And if I had to, look, I always like to say, if you're saying to me one of them you can't leave out, you can't leave out Grealish, in my opinion. So you've got to leave Mason Mount or Foden out, which is a travesty. A travesty when you're probably going to take Eric Dyer. So, do you think Grealish will leave Villa at the end of the season, says Simon? I don't know. I mean, look, somebody just said there that Villa are going to spend a lot of money in the summer. So, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I really don't. And who can afford Grealish? I'd love to see Grealish at Man United. If Pogba leaves, I'd love to see it. I really, really would. But who knows what's happening with Pogba? I mean, I've been keeping an eye on Man United news, but as you know, on the United Stand, I've purposely not really been talking about it. That will start again tomorrow. We've got quite a list of things to go through that's been happening. But as a spoiler, there was something about Pogba I read today that United have got concerns about Pogba. I mean, Pogba's been quite... I don't know. I mean, look, I'm not going to... I like Paul Pogba. I think he's been very good for us on the pitch, and that's what matters the most. Some people are saying that Pogba's been very quiet around this thing. Would I expect Paul Pogba to be a bit louder? Yes, but Messi was quiet, Ronaldo was quiet, Neymar was quiet. We could all think of 100 players that you thought, oh, they've got a personality, they might do something about it. So you can't hold it against Pogba for not doing anything. But his future at Manchester United is my concern. Does Paul Pogba have to be the lead person at Manchester United to sort this issue out? Well, I don't think he does, because I think there was enough people like Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire and Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. I mean, here's something interesting. No matter where we end up, Erling will continue to play with us, says Dortmund sporting director. But that's probably because no one can afford him now. I do. I mean, I'm going to talk about that tomorrow morning. I don't want to start nicking content for tomorrow morning, but I would say this just before the second half kicks off. The Erling Haaland to Manchester United rumours suddenly make a lot of sense, don't they? And maybe even Liverpool and maybe even Chelsea. As a Manchester United fan, I never really understood how we were going to sign Erling Haaland. And, I was happy to say, like, how are we signing Erling Haaland? Where are we getting £150 million from? And it's not £150 million. It's £150 million to Dortmund. And then it's £25 million to Raiola. So where are we getting this money from? Where's it coming from? And, it starts... And why is Mino Raiola going on a world tour? Why is he going to Barcelona and Real Madrid? Why is he in England now? Where are Barcelona and Real Madrid getting their money from? Where can they have the money from? They're broke. But suddenly it all makes a lot of sense. And I don't think anybody's really spoken about this. I think the reason United were obsessed with Haaland and the reason he'd been to speak to Barcelona and Real Madrid is that Raiola obviously knew about this Super League. And, Raiola probably... I mean, there's a big question. If Raiola knew about the Super League, how did he know about it and the managers of the teams involved didn't? So I do just wonder whether, the Haaland transfer that looked highly unlikely to any of these clubs was to do with the amount of money they were going to get from the Super League. So I do wonder about that one. Players are coming out for the second half. 2-1 to Manchester City, but Man City down to 10 men. They'll have to play with 10 men for 45 minutes. I think this game will end up 3-1 to Manchester City still. I think Man City with 10 men will still be too good for Villa, but it's going to be very interesting. There's a pressure on Villa now. 45 minutes against 10 men. Come on, what can you do? Nathan, where do you get Liverpool are confirming Konate signing, and how do you know this when I've seen this nowhere? Says Nathan Allen. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. I will get you the details. Leah, I think it's Leah Smith on Twitter. I'll get you the at for you now. Yeah, at Leah Smith _ Let's have a look. Yeah, 7 hours ago, massive. Ibrahim Konate is going to sign for Liverpool officially on May the 1st. So, shout out to Leah. And she was very good about Man United news and team news as well over the last few days. So, look. So Laporte is coming on for Manchester City because obviously they've lost the defender and Jesus goes off. I think in a way Pep Guardiola will quite relish this second half because it's 10 men against 11. He loves a bit of football, doesn't he? He loves a bit of football, and I think he'll see this as a challenge. Dortmund are winning 2-0. Be interesting to see if Dortmund can get top four. They've really got to go for it. Madrid may be bored. Ronaldo only won 2 league titles there. Thoughts on Aguero to Barca? They're missing a real striker. Title race is very close, says Jacob Allen. And I think Villa can upset City and snatch a 2-2 draw, says Sumia. Remember he said that. It'd be very interesting to see what Barcelona can do now, because how much of their future revenues? I mean, Real Madrid have basically bought Alaba, haven't they? So there is some money there, but how much money have these clubs got now that they're not in the Super League? I don't know. And FSG will have to do a lot more than Konate to get in my good book, says Nathan. Alan, thank you. Not playing Grand Theft Auto tonight, no. Back tomorrow night. Get some early sleep tonight, refresh, come back stronger tomorrow. I mean, that's if nothing breaks tonight. I mean, God, the thing I would say is that none of us know what can happen in the world of football anymore, do we? But hopefully nothing does break tonight, because I think we all need a bit of chill out time. I'm not saying everyone needs an early night. I'm getting to that age where I probably do, but just watch a film. Do something a bit different than obsess about what's going on Twitter. That would be nice. Is the title possible? It's not impossible. I'd still say 95% that City win it. But if Villa can get something here, they might start to think about it. But it is 10 against 11. Let's see. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We're now on the road to 400k before the Euros. I was trying to get to 350k before the Euros, but thank you everyone who's getting involved. Really appreciate it. And of course, we have got the Euros coming up in a couple of weeks. Cut to the trailer. Imagine if I did cut to the trailer. Oh no, Italy score! Germans score! You know, imagine that. I should do a promo for the Euros. That'd be good fun. But that's a good idea. I'm writing my shopping list, really. But yeah, make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner, get involved. That's football. Everybody's welcome on here, as we've seen over the last few days. When we come together and have a chat, it's normally very, very good. Your thoughts if Dyer goes to Euros and Grealish doesn't, says Salah Ahmed. Well, it will be a disgrace, but of course, you are comparing two positions there, aren't you? I mean, you can't just take 3 attacking midfielders and 2 CDMs. And of course, the annoying thing about Eric Dyer is he can play centre-back and CDM. No, he can't. He can play badly at centre-back and badly at CDM. That's the thing. I don't like utility players, but of course in a tournament, people love it. Phil Jones went to a World Cup because of it. City look like they've got 12 men. Well, this is what I said. I think City will win this 3-1. Because I think even with 10 men, they can just move the ball around so well. They've nearly scored here as well. This is what I mean. I don't think just because City have got 10 men, Villa will be fine. It's a real tactical test. And would you fancy Dean Smith or Pep Guardiola? Corner to Manchester City. Camavinga, a source close to Camavinga. He says he would love to go to Real Madrid, whilst admitting a move to Bayern is a real possibility. Weekend watch-alongs. Oh, good shot from distance there. Straight at keeper gets hold of it from Douglas Luiz. The plan is to do the the Carabao Cup final on Sunday between Manchester City and Spurs. I do plan to do that. I might just be a little bit late to the start because Man United are playing Leeds at 2 o'clock. So I will have to do my match reaction and then come straight into here, which is not a problem. Obviously, the Super League was a terrible idea, but don't you think UEFA needs reform? Yes, Ethan Cleverley. I don't need to read anything more than that. I mean, look, I said this on the United stand today. Hold on. Cross comes in, headed away by Man City. McGinn on the edge of the box. Yeah, I said this on United stand today. UEFA and FIFA and Premier League. They were all our allies yesterday, man. But UEFA, FIFA, and the Premier League were our allies yesterday because sometimes you fight something so bad that you have people on your side that you wouldn't normally have. And yesterday, UEFA were on our side because they wanted the Super League over. But now, Susan Brandon's back. Welcome back, Susan. But now, UEFA have got the teams back. They ain't going to fight our corner anymore. They've got what they want. They can build out what they want. I'm not convinced the new Champions League system is actually that good. It's nowhere near as bad as the Super League, but it's not that good. So you're right. I mean, I'm no big fan of UEFA or FIFA or the Premier League anyway. I mean, let's be honest. These are people that exploit fans as well. The trouble is, if the Super League, if you had a tier list out of 10, how bad was the Super League for football? I'd put it 10 out of 10. How bad are UEFA for football? They're probably down at 4 or 5. So we want to get it down to 0. It's our game. So I don't. UEFA ain't great, but they're not as bad as that Super League thing. Bamford or Ollie Watkins, says Ozzy. I'd probably go Watkins because I like a bit of pace, but Bamford's a decent striker. It's a very good either or, that one. I'll tip my tea to that. The enemy of the enemy is my friend. Some guy is killed by Joseph. And it's like, somebody just, usual username 99 just mentioned the World Cup. A lot of people wanted to say PSG are legends with Bayern Munich. PSG ain't legends. PSG are locked into the FIFA World Cup because their owners are a massive part of the FIFA World Cup. Then they were never, ever. And you're right, Jack Stewart's right. FIFA and that World Cup is a bloody joke. The World Cup at Christmas in a climate like that is just money. And let's not forget that World Cup should have been in England as well. Like we were screwed over that World Cup. So look, let's not pretend that FIFA and UEFA are our friends. They're not. We needed them yesterday because their power helped us. But actually, it was the fans who stopped it. It wasn't them. So UEFA and FIFA are not our friends. They're not going to help us with our owners at Man United, are they? They're not. Or Arsenal or Chelsea or whatever club you want change at. But yeah, I don't think we should all be championing PSG either, because PSG are playing Man City in a couple of weeks. You might say, well, I want PSG to win because they didn't try to destroy football, and I do get that. But let's not forget PSG had an ulterior motive that the FIFA World Cup is something that they are intrinsically linked to. I think the German clubs deserve credit, but is it Bayern Munich who deserve credit, or is it the fact that they've got the 50+1 system where the fans wouldn't have allowed them to go in anyway? So, I applaud the German system. I do applaud Bayern Munich and Dortmund because they've got the right system that stops them going into a Super League that way. And as I said before, you know what? If a Super League happens in the future because the fans vote for it, if I disagree with it, I can't say, well, I'm never going to support United anymore. I'm not doing United Stand anymore. Because I'm not going into something unwillingly. I am, but it's been voted for by fans. And I respect my fellow fan opinion. If I vote for Brexit and it doesn't happen, well, that's democracy. If I vote for a different political party and the other one gets in, I'm annoyed, but it's a democracy. So if a Super League vote happens in the future and more people vote for it than me, and it happens, I'm disappointed, but it's done through democracy. This system was a farce, and that's why the German football system is very good, because whether Bayern Munich or Dortmund wanted to be in the Super League or not, they couldn't be. Do you think the last couple of days will affect the transfer market, says Pulak? I mean, it could have a bad impact on the transfer market. It could have a good impact on the transfer market. As many people said, these owners will be advised. If the Glazers are sitting in a room tonight saying, how do we win the fans back? Option one will be, have a fantastic transfer window. You'll win a lot of people back then. If you go out there and buy 3 or 4 top quality players and keep Paul Pogba, they'll love you for it. And that will be option one. And that'll be said at Arsenal and that'll be said at Liverpool. They will try and win the fans back with transfers. That's what they will do. And if you fall for it, that's up to you. So that will be option one. Option two will be, we aren't spending anything because we're pissed off and they can see what the damage is done by not being in the Super League. So we've got a red card for Villa now. Second yellow card for Matty Cash. Their chances are gone. It's over. That was fast. Well done, Aston Villa. You've got to be... What a prat Cash is here. He loses the ball. Oh, it's reckless. What a prat Cash is there. What a prat Cash is there. City down to 10. He does the most stupid thing ever. That is, you've got to be annoyed with that if you're a Villa fan, because it's definitely a second yellow card, and it's definitely, so he's got to go. I don't. You know what? It doesn't matter whether it's Matty Cash, Premier League, Sunday football, five-a-side. You can never get into the head of some people and what they do on a football pitch. He's absolutely lost his head there. You've got a great chance of getting back into a game against Man City, 11 against 10. All you've got to do is stay calm and keep using the spare man. and he loses the ball and flies into a tackle on Foden. That is, that is definitely a second yellow card, isn't it? That definitely is a red card. But you as a manager, if you're Dean Smith, you're like, what have you done? Why have you done that? You've absolutely ruined our chances. Why did you do it? Why? But in fairness to Matty Cash, we've all been on that position in a football where you just lose your head. You just go and he'll be pissed off because he's lost control of the ball and he's like, bang, I'm going to hit him. Samson says he's an idiot. He's cost Villa the game. Well, he's cost Man United a chance as well. But look, you can't be reliant on others. Do you think England can win the Euros playing 5 at the back? No. Southgate can't win the Euros. He's too defensive. Pratty Cash, says Jamilian. Yeah, exactly. Pratty Cash. Remember Pat Cash with his mullet playing tennis? You've got to be a bit older to remember that. You have. What day is it tomorrow? Does anyone know? On the official, it's Thursday, isn't it? Yeah, I always thought this game was being played on a Friday. There can be miracles when you believe. Come on, Villa. It was a stupid tackle, but it was a second yellow and it was a red card. You can't argue about it. All you can do is go, why would you do that when you've got a great chance against 10-men Man City? Scotland are going to pump England in the Euros, says Jamie. Daffy Duck, Scooby-Doo, Jamie, Scooby-Doo. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, shut up, England are going to smash you. I'm not going to say that because I've seen England play Republic of Ireland in the World Cup. I've seen England play Scotland in the Euros before. They're a great leveller. They're like a derby, aren't they? When Man United play Man City at the moment, Man City on paper are a much better team, but I always fancy United because it's a derby. And I think when it's England against Scotland, it becomes a derby, doesn't it? So it doesn't really matter how good you are. We've got the better players, but I think it will be an interesting game. What's your favourite Queen song, Mark? Instantly came into my head, Under Pressure. I quite like that. Under Pressure. Zed Jamie is asking about the 50+1 rule. I mean, I might sort of do a video on that actually, because my understanding of it is that it means that business owners can only own 49% of the club, and that means that my basic understanding of the 50+1 rule is that basically the fans are represented by 51% of the shares and private ownership is represented by 49% of the shares. It's still a very good system for the 49%. If Glazers owned 49% of Manchester United and 51% was owned by the fans, the Glazers would still make a lot of money because they own 49%. So any profit they would be entitled to, their share price, etc., etc. But how you get to that system is very, very difficult at the moment because it doesn't exist. And there'll be more to it than that, of course there will. Of course there will. Eddie Howe for Spurs job. I've said it on this channel a few times. I always envisaged, and I don't know why, Nagelsmann as being Spurs' next manager. And I think Nagelsmann at Spurs would be a very good manager, but he may well be going to Bayern Munich. So, who's going to be the Bayern Munich next manager? But Nagelsmann in the Premier League would be very interesting. I'd like to see it. Again, it's another manager that, in different circumstances, I would like to have seen him at Manchester United. But I don't know. Would Gerrard go for Spurs? I think Gerrard wants the Liverpool job. But can you go straight from Rangers to Liverpool? I think in those circumstances you probably can. But maybe Gerrard should be a little bit careful of the Lampard situation. Do you think... some people are saying Nagelsmann wouldn't go to Bayern anyway. It's too big a jump. Some people are saying this is the Super League dead. Super League is not dead. Burnley, I've been begging all week. I've been sending emails to Florentino Perez. I don't know whether I've got the right email. I've sent it to Florentino Perez at 12@hotmail.com and I've heard nothing back. But I tell you what, Woody's ready, Tarkovsky's ready, and Burnley are ready. We're ready to step up and take the place of the English six. But I've heard nothing back. If you've got his number, I'll WhatsApp him. Don't want to go on about this, but do you think other chairman owners will step down or sell the club, says Drew? Man City owners won't go anywhere, and Man City fans don't want them to go anywhere because they've provided them with the dream. So, I think Man City fans are disappointed about them going in for it, but I think Man City have basically said, look, we were the first to come out of it. We misread the situation. Chelsea fans the same. Roman Abramovich has done has been a massive part of their success, and I think a lot of Chelsea fans are aware of that, and I think also the fact that they were the first club to come out of it with Man City has saved them. Having said that, I do know Chelsea fans who are very, very... It is 10 versus 10 now. Both players have had a man sent off. I do know Chelsea fans that don't want Abramovich there, so that's quite interesting, but I think they're probably in the minority. Obviously, Arsenal fans want Kroenke gone. Manchester United fans want Glazers gone. And then you move into two... It's interesting. You've got 6 clubs, and it's almost like there's a third in each situation. As I said, Man City and Chelsea came out first. They've got rich owners, and I think the majority of their fans want them to stay, even though they're disappointed. I think with Manchester United and Arsenal, the majority of their fans want them gone, their owners gone, and they probably wanted them gone before this, and it's just been, the final nail in the coffin. With Liverpool and Spurs, I think it's a bit difficult. I think that Liverpool fans are very, very disappointed with Henry, and I think Spurs fans are very disappointed with Daniel Levy. But I also think the new stadium at Spurs and Liverpool winning the title, etc. I think there may be a little bit of leeway there. I don't know, but they're not my club, so I don't know. Mark, would you take a 50+1, but it just meant no one can more than own the 49%, meaning the whole club could be owned by billionaires, but no majority, says Mark Dobby. I'd have to read more into it. James Garner misplaced a back pass, which led to a goal today. If you did that at United, you'd get a Garner out brigade. Needs another loan spell for me, says Jimmy Garner. Yeah, I've always said that about Jimmy Garner or James Garner or whatever. I think that I'd like to see him on loan at Brighton next season. I think even if he comes into Manchester United next season, he'll only play a handful of games at best. He needs to play 30, 40 games, doesn't he? Steven Gerrard misplaced passes as well. Players are not flawless. People make mistakes. And Ryan Brown says, FSG out, I'm a Liverpool fan. And I do suspect that that's where Liverpool fans are, because they're absolutely furious and their club means so much to them. Ryan says, Aston Villa are a solid team, but some players aren't good enough. Well, 25 minutes to go here. I just think Villa without Grealish are just not as potent. I think they're a well-organised team. I think they work very hard. But I think without Grealish, they just miss that spark, don't they? I think Villa without Grealish are probably a bottom half of the table team. Villa with Grealish in it is why they are where they are. Eddie, can we chat on Instagram? You'd be lucky. I'm crap on Instagram. Although there's a good picture of me on Instagram. A lot of people are saying, why did you do that gang business picture? It's because it's meant to be a cross between a Grand Theft Auto picture that you could put on a Grand Theft Auto thing, and I'm basically referencing what everybody's done over the last couple of days. It's like we've all been one big gang and we've got the business done. Yeah, it's a bit of a comedy joke, really. Grand Theft Auto's back tomorrow night. Ashley says Villa have got a one-man attack. I mean, they're losing this game at the moment. It's a good result for City. Matty Cash could have made it interesting if he'd just not been a prat. Do you think the football will go to a Super League in the future, says Idris? Look, I'm not opposed to a Super League in the future. I'm not. I just don't know how it would work. Which is why I did it on a bloody FIFA career mode, because it's not real. My concerns about a Super League is that if you did a Super League, it would have to have a system where other teams can get into it. You'd have to have relegation for a start. But how would you decide? So if you had a team of, if you scrap the Premier League and you had a Super League with 20 teams in it, so they play 38 games, and 3 teams get relegated, where do the 3 teams come up from? You need a European Super League 2. If you've got a European Super League 2, who's going to watch Arsenal playing Porto in European Super League 2? You know, who's going to watch bloody Ajax playing Braga? You know, it doesn't work, and it doesn't work because it only works if you've got a very select set of teams, and that's why they wanted to keep it to like 12, 15 teams, because they wanted it to be Barcelona United, because people would travel for that, because they've got massive fan bases. A European Super League can't work unless you become elitist, which is what they were trying to do, and we shouldn't have that. You know, I understand why Real Madrid and Barcelona want it, because they need money, but a Super League only works with these big clubs, because you can go and play in New York, you can go and play Manchester United against Barcelona in Barcelona or Sydney, and people will watch it. But people aren't going to travel to watch Ajax play Braga on a Wednesday night in the European Super League. Ajax fans just won't bother with it when the following week they might be playing away to, I don't know, Mulder. It only works with the big clubs, and then you've got to be elitist. If I know Man City's owners, the one thing they will do, get in their fans' good book, is 1, properly go and sign Haaland or Mbappe, or 2, go all out for Messi. Yeah, Man City will probably come out with this quite strong. Yeah, Christian Ross says you're basically explaining the Europa League, yeah, and no one really is interested in that. Christian Ross, thank you very much. If you want my honest opinion, which I'll always give, on how this should be resolved, the Premier League is the right way to do it. Now, the Premier League's got a lot of holes in it. You know, the fact that Man City have got way more money than everybody else and can just buy all the good players and dominate the league is a problem, because they've also got the best manager, and they're very hard to topple. But if you take Man City out of the league, actually, what a league we've got. Teams like Villa do spend money, Everton spend money, Leicester spend money, and the distribution of cash is quite good, that it allows those clubs to do that, and we get more investment. You know, Leicester owners are rich, Everton's owners are rich. So the Premier League system in relation to a competitive league is probably about as good as it gets. And La Liga, it's just Barcelona, Real Madrid, and a little bit of Atletico Madrid, isn't it? And nobody else. And that's because the distribution of cash over many years has not been fair. Now, I don't know whether I'm right about this, but I'm sure I was told that in Spain, the TV rights are not distributed fairly. Almost to the extent that if the TV rights in the Premier League are shared out fairly, as we know, but in La Liga, 80% of it goes to Real Madrid and Barcelona because they're the biggest clubs. Well, look, Florentino Perez, instead of trying to build some stupid Super League that's elitist and not fair, why didn't you just do a TV deal for La Liga where, and they didn't want this to happen for obvious reasons, but we did it and it worked. You want a rich Valencia, you want a rich Granada, you want a rich Real Sociedad. You want these clubs to start getting bigger and richer to make your league more competitive. That's the problem with La Liga. They've neglected their home league and allowed themselves to get rich. And the Premier League hasn't done that. The Premier League has tried to make other clubs have opportunities to become rich themselves. And then outside investors have invested in it because it's lucrative. In La Liga, it's virtually impossible for anybody below Atletico Madrid, Barcelona and Real Madrid to be competitive because it's not a competitive league in relation to distribution. Ultimately, Barcelona and Real Madrid could have solved this problem by investing in making the La Liga more of a balanced league, but obviously they don't want to do that because they want to be the best. When there is smoke, there is fire. The Glazers may have an SEC issue with Avron Glazers announcing a sale of 5 million shares right before the Super League, says 6782 Anthony. Also, you buy a 29-year-old Hazard with 100 million when you'll have players already in the team giving 600k weekly to Bale and not playing him, and you ask for money to get out, says Ava. Yeah. Real Madrid have spent poorly, haven't they, really? Hey, look, I'm fully aware of how many European Cups Real Madrid have won, and I'm fully aware of that amazing 3 in a row that Zidane did quite recently. What I'm telling you is, if you're moaning about money, maybe look at the way your club's been run, and maybe look at the way your clubs run the league that they're in. I mean, how appalling is that? And this is what disgusted me about Man United. How appalling is it that you turn your back on your own domestic league to go and make money elsewhere? You know, maybe look after your own house before moving out. I think the Super League was just a quick fix for clubs to make themselves some money because they've lost a lot of money over the last year. How are Villa playing? All right, 15 minutes to go. I wish Matty Cash hadn't been sent off. Tea or coffee, Mark, says Matthew. Coffee in the morning, tea in the afternoon. What about you? Well, Messi's up for grabs in the summer, isn't he? I was given a free kick there on Douglas Luiz. I think that was a little bit soft.
Annoying thing about Eric Dyer is he can play centre back and CDM. No, he can't. He can play badly at centre back and badly.
Oh, I've not seen that before. Right. We need a drawbridge, says MP. In the last 3 years, you haven't won a cup, nor have you beaten me. I'm confused how your club is better than me since we both in the Europa League, says Danny Reeves. Danny, you've just wasted a fiver to make yourself look a prat. I mean, do I have to tell you where you finished last year? 8th, and we finished 3rd. I don't even know where you are at the moment. You know that I normally know where Arsenal are in the league. I'm going to have to go and look at it. We're 2nd. The Europa League is a crap tournament. I'm embarrassed to be in it, Danny. So, but let's have a look where you are in the league. I've got no idea. This is quite exciting. Where are Arsenal in the league at the moment? Oh, you're in 9th. You're in 9th. I tell you what, that's not too bad. You don't have to scroll down too far. You're in 9th place at the moment. And the best you're going to finish this year is 8th. You've got no chance of finishing any better than 8th because you're 7 points off 7th. So, there we go. Could be 8th again. Mid-table matters. Well, yeah, I suppose 9th is mid-table, isn't it? Where there is a fire, there is gonna be a flame. Where there is a flame, someone's gonna get burned. Danny's gonna get burned. I'll do it again. Where there is a fire, there is gonna be a flame. Where there is a flame, Danny's gonna get burned. Just because he's burned doesn't mean he's gonna die. Gotta get up and try better, Danny. They're on the first page now. I think FIFA will be back. I don't know when. I think FIFA will be back on Friday, but I don't know what to do. I nearly did a FIFA draft today. I was so desperate to play FIFA, I nearly did a FIFA draft today, and then I ran out of time. So I have got withdrawal sim. I can't wait to play Grand Theft Auto tomorrow night. It feels so long. When is McGregor's fight? I'll do a watch along for that. Saw on United reports a picture of Bruno meeting Cantona. Saw that Salah Ahmed. Yeah, Two legends together. I'm not able to send super chats on United Stand, so I send my fiver here. Keep up the pressure and the good work, says Kay. Thank you very much, Kay. I'm already doing a Super League on FIFA, Jonathan. I don't know whether I dare bring it back. You know what? I am bringing it back because they're not doing a Super League. So why is it an issue now? You know, I knew it was over while the Super League was going to happen, but I don't think I need to worry about it now. Goldfinger murder. He's the man. The man with the Midas touch. I put a picture on Instagram today at Goldbridge Mark. It's a Pratt picture. And it's had nearly 40,000 likes. What a Pratt. Can you see it? Brum, brum, brum. You can't see it. Why can't you show a phone picture on bloody there? That's a joke. It's a shame, really. At Goldbridge Mark. Bang, bang, bang. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. Mark, they must have watched your Super League FIFA tournament and decided to go on with it. Yeah, but their Super League, thing is, my FIFA Super League isn't the best because it hasn't got relegation in it, but it's still way better than their Super League. Like, my Super League's elite compared to theirs. I mean, how ridiculous that? Finished 2 just to end up in Europe, says hashtag progress, says Danny Reeves. Danny, don't start with me. You need better banter than that. Arsenal don't like change, so they're happy with 8th, says YK. United spent the same as City in the last 10 years, says Daniel O'Brien. I mean, Danny, what you're saying there is we finished 2nd just to end up in the Europe. You know what that's like? You know, if you live in a crap house and you never go on holiday, that's like Arsenal, right? You live in a shithole and you never go on holiday. At least Man United, we were in the Champions League and then we're back in Europe. At least we had a couple of weeks in Disney World. You've had nothing. You've been stuck at home in your shithole for 4 years. At least we've had a couple of weeks in Disney World. Yeah, we're still back in a shit tournament, but at least we were in the Champions League. You might be in it in a couple of weeks. You know, I do think Arsenal have got a chance of winning the Europa League. As you said, we've not been able to beat you for 3 years, so you never know. What did you personally feel about the legacy fan remark? Has it changed the paradigm of club association and loyalty for you on a personal level, says Anmish? Well, we don't know where it came from, but it did. I think some people are offended by the legacy fan, quite rightly. Dan says, who is this clown tarnishing the Danny name? But, I mean, I think if you're offended by the legacy fan, it's because you're surprised that they would say something like that. My perception of these owners are that they don't care or respect fans anyway. And they probably do. I've said this on the United Stand before, many a time. Who do you think Manchester United's owners care more about? 20,000 loyal fans who go home and away every season, or millions of fans who live globally who don't go to any games but want to buy merchandise? They're more interested in the global fan than they are 20,000 people who follow you around. Now, that's not right, is it? I mean, you shouldn't differentiate anyway. We want equality, but 20,000 fans paying for tickets home and away and buying shirts can never compete with a couple of million worldwide fans who will never go to Old Trafford who buy the shirts, because 2 million spending money compared to 20,000, it pales into insignificance. But that's the problem with these owners. It's all about the money. They're not interested in fans or how long they've been a fan, and that's what they're talking about. A legacy fan is somebody who goes watching them as all their life, home and away. The future fan is the one that's, you know, happy to go and see United maybe once or twice a year, but will buy all the shirts and subscribe to watch. Is Henderson the best captain since Keane? Says Negative. I think he modelled himself on Roy Keane though, didn't he? I think I read something about Jordan Henderson sort of modelling himself on Roy Keane. I don't know whether that's right. I don't know whether I missed the boat on that one. Grand Theft Auto tomorrow night. Oh, I know what I was going to do. Whenever I play Grand Theft Auto, I always do that at the start. We're 32 subscribers away from 382,000. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We're 32 away. Let's see if we can hit 382 tonight before the end of this stream, which has got 10 minutes to go. We're hoping Villa can get an equaliser, but to be honest with you, Matty Cash has probably ruined it. So, because he's a bit of a prat. Yeah, please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Let's see if we can hit 382. James Wright says expensive job Old Trafford doesn't mean I'm any less of a fan. No, that's what I'm saying. It should be equal. But I'm telling you now, our owners will care more about the 2 million, 3 million foreign fans who can't come to Manchester United. I say foreign fans, you might live in bloody Swindon and never go to Old Trafford. It's not even foreign. It's just that the legacy fans, I think they're talking about these fans who go home and away, and you can only get, 20, 30,000 fans that are going to go home and away to every game, aren't they? Whereas you can get millions of fans who will pay for subscriptions, get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, buy the shirt. Basically, they probably value the global fan base more than the local fan base, because the local fan base can only be this much, whereas the global fan base can be this much. When actually, you should value everybody. Man City nearly scoring there, goes out for a corner. Line of Duty's on tomorrow instead of Sunday. No, it's not. I bet I did go further than you in the Champions League next season, says Danny Reeves. Okay, let's see. Thanks for subscribing, Shobith, and get in the bin. How's Villa doing, says Nico? They've been all right, but against Man City, 10 against 10, it was always going to be. I think it was going to be difficult for them. 11 against 10. It's a shame that Matty Cash got sent off. It's a fixed match. That's why. Well, I hope not. I don't want to see things like that in the Premier League. We don't want to see. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. Come on, Villa. Get a goal. Make it interesting. Check out my tweet on @MarkGoldbridge if you're a United fan. See what you think. Sultan says, I love Villa, but I don't think they can get a goal. I agree with you, Sultan. I don't love Villa, but I don't think they can get a goal. I'd love them to get a goal. Mark, would you take an Arabian Prince over the Glazers? I'd have to do background checks. I mean, I wouldn't say no or yes right here. It depends what Prince it is, what the bank account looks like, and what their motives are, and what their, morals are. But, I wouldn't rule it out. But basically, what they used to call it was a fit and proper test. And I don't think the Premier League give a shit about the fit and proper test or the FA. I don't care. Anybody who owns Manchester United, they can come from anywhere. I mean, I'm not even opposed to an American owner. I know people would be quite stereotypical if the Glazers sold it to an American owner, but not all American owners are going to be bad. I understand why people might think that, but not all Americans are going to be bad. But it's the fit and proper test that you want. But of course, you can never be careful. You've got to be careful, because When the Glazers came in, everyone was like, oh, you know, they came in like, oh yeah, we're going to be really good. Of course, they're not going to tell you what. No buyer's going to go, you know what, we're coming here to make money. We're not going to give you much to spend. We're going to take dividends. We're not going to improve the ground or anything. You know, no one's going to say that. But the proof's always going to be in the pudding. But you just want an owner who's passionate about football, passionate about Manchester United, and wants them to be the best. And whatever you say about Man City's owners, they want to be the best on the pitch. That's really important to them. And that's the problem we have with the Glazers, and I think Arsenal owners have it as well. They don't care about being that successful on the pitch. They know it's a factor, but then they just want to make money. They want to make money. And, you know, fourth place probably makes them more money than spending money to get first place. Whereas for Man City, they want to make money, but they also want to be the best. They want the prestige, and that's what you want. Real and Barca's money men, maybe because they have to elect a new president every 4 years. They have to make promises just to get elected, which leads to this need to constantly spend to succeed. That's a great point, Matthew. I think that is a great point. The presidential I'm not convinced that the Spanish way, although it's better than the Premier League way because the fans can vote on the president, I think it almost becomes like a general election where these people make these policies that they can never keep. Chelsea better than Man United, says Alex. Not interested at the moment. And Mark, who's your favourite player in Villa's history other than Matty Cash, says Louis Lopez. In Villa's history, give me some players. I mean, look, Paul McGrath always comes to mind because I liked Paul McGrath, obviously ex-Man United player. And he was a fantastic defender as well. So Paul McGrath definitely comes to mind straight away. Mark, I believe the Newcastle takeover last summer failed because of the fit and proper test, didn't it? Or at least that's what the Prem said, says Ruben. Yeah, I was very surprised that failed, actually. I was very surprised that failed because they don't normally do that. Would you take me as a manager over Jose, says Sunday A? I don't know anything about you. I'd have to run and fit and proper test again. Alex is a Chelsea fan with his funny comments. Thanks, Alex. Alaba would have been perfect for us in CDM or centre-back, says Nathan. Love the work you do and the watch-alongs. Big up, mate, says Jordan Brown. Yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. I know it's a little bit difficult to get back into the swing of things with football. I appreciate that. And I must admit, I half and half scarfed it tonight and thought, I don't know whether to do it or not. But I think that the fact that Man City, if they'd lost, would have given United a slim chance of being in a title race, which I knew we're not in anyway. And actually, it's been good. A couple of red cards, 3 goals. It's been a decent game to watch, and it's got me back into the footballing feel, which I haven't been in, and I don't think anybody's been in. So it's been a good welcome back. Mark, this day people make fake accounts using other clubs' names and Manchester United, says Alex. Okay. There's 3 added minutes and we're already 1 into it. And Zed Jamie's right. I think everyone needs a good night's sleep and come back fresh tomorrow. And that's a good point, Zed Jamie. I think we need a good night's sleep and come back fresh tomorrow. I'm going to start talking about United again tomorrow and what team we should pick against Leeds and stuff like that. I want to get back into that. But what I would also say as well is that we also mustn't give up on the getting them out of the club argument. So yeah. There's no Grand Theft Auto tonight. I appreciate new people come into the chat, but I've said it about 6 times. I'm going to ban Grand Theft Auto and GTA from the live chat very, very soon because it guest asks all the time. And it's boring to keep saying, I'm not playing it tonight, I'm back playing it tomorrow, I'm looking forward to it. The link's in the video description for Twitch if you want to follow me, and it'll be back tomorrow night. But I've said it about 20 times tonight. Would you take Ricky as manager over Jose, says Sunday 8? What's your obsession with Jose? What's your obsession with Jose? Streaky bacon or back bacon? I don't know. I'm not much of an expert on that. Is Beckham rich enough to buy United? No. Like, David Beckham is rich. Conor McGregor is rich. But 4 billion, when Conor McGregor said I might buy Man United and people started getting excited, they just didn't do quick maths. Like, I don't know how much money Conor McGregor's got, but 4 billion, is it a billion? What's a billion? How much is a billion? Is it 100 million or is it 100 million? How much is a billion? Even I don't know this now, so I'm tired. A billion, I know what that is. How many millions is a billion? 1,000 millions in a billion. David Beckham and Conor McGregor together won't even be billionaires. So they need 4 just to buy Manchester United. So no. Your dream about the polar bear still puts me on the floor, says Sam Wells. And I felt depressed as a result of the Glazers, and you candidly sharing your feelings helped. Real men are open and honest about their emotions, says Peter D. Thank you very much. Foden, another very good performance. We'll be interested to see him in the PSG game against Mbappe. I'm looking forward to Man City against PSG next week, actually. I really am. I think you know, I am. I'm actually looking forward to getting football back. I've quite enjoyed it tonight. I'm fully aware of all the fights that we've got on, and we can't forget those fights. And for me, they can't cover up what they've done with brilliant signings. This fight will go on. But we've also got to get our eye back on the ball, literally, and start enjoying football again, because we love it. And enjoying football, and the players and the managers, they were never involved in this. So there's no guilt attached with getting back into football and enjoying it. You can be angry and frustrated and determined to remove your owners, but also appreciate your football team. And that's what we need to do. So I'm excited about the Champions League next week. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. We will be back tomorrow with lots of content. So thanks everyone for watching. Take care. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks everyone for joining me. And I'll speak to you in a bit. 2-1 to Manchester City. Game over.